What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Maisha Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a certified trichologist. Super excited to be here with you on a Monday afternoon. This is a new thing, right? So, what's going on, everybody? Oh my gosh, Latoya, I came to your salon in December, but you were closed. I drove from New York and I stopped by to see you. But anyway, listen, I am super excited to be here. If you are a person that is losing your hair, you feel like you're seeing excessive shedding, or you are a stylist who is seeing an influx of clients that are losing their hair, then this is the talk you need to be having, and I'm the girl you need to be having it with. So, what's going on? Super excited. Once again, listen, there has been a real influx of hair loss issues. And I mean, I know why, but there are so many different reasons why you yourself or your clients could be losing hair. And so I'm going to talk to clients, as well as, hey Jay, I'm going to be talking to clients as well as professionals that may say, you know what, I'm seeing a line of clients that are losing their hair. I want to know what's the deal. What are some things that could be causing it? When should I get help? Are there home remedies that I can use? And how can a professional help me with this? Especially if you feel like a lot of people that I speak to, they talk about how, oh, this didn't happen until I went to the salon, or this didn't happen until I used a specific professional product. So if that's you, hang around, put some questions in the chat. I'm going to answer them. Let's go. So the first thing is, I have been seeing a lot of clients virtually. I've been contacted by a lot of people via inbox and word of mouth about hair loss. So first things first, and I know I've said this before, but this is my thing, right? So when you look at hair loss or alopecia is not cookie cutter, right? Which means that, oh, housekeeping, I'm live on Instagram at Edmond_trichology, which is my professional page for my clinic. I'm also live on YouTube, and I'm live on Facebook at Maisha Edmond. Okay, now that we got that out the way, there are 30-minute consultations available that are paid. Also, there are in-person consultations and virtual consultations. So at any moment, you can go into my link and click on the link and go ahead and schedule yourself a consultation. Okay. All right. So when people say I have alopecia, they always come to me with, girl, the doctor said I got alopecia. And I'm like, okay, but what kind? And they're like, alopecia. So the first thing I need to let you know is that alopecia only means hair loss. It doesn't tell you the type of hair loss that you have. So when you hear people say, when you hear a doctor perhaps will tell you that they have hair loss, that you have hair loss, that you have alopecia, it's not a blanket. So you need to know what type of alopecia so that you'll know if you can or cannot help it, right? Or what things to do so that you can slow it, possibly reverse it. Do you need a professional and all that jazz, right? The next thing is, it doesn't, I guess I said this already, it doesn't just come from anywhere. So when somebody says, oh, I'm losing my hair, I had a person that said, Maisha, all my hair is falling out. And I'm like, girl, like all of it? Like there is no strand? And it wasn't that. It was just that it was an excessive amount, which was telogen effluvium. So let me just do that real quick. When somebody says, oh, I have alopecia, my hair is shedding a lot, there's no bald spots, but it's like even all over, telogen effluvium, which you may see in people that have experienced hair loss after COVID, hair loss after high fevers, hair loss after giving birth, hair loss after cessation or adding a medication. So it's like one of the most common types of hair loss that I see, especially behind the chair, because so many things can trigger it. High fever, like I said, it could be postpartum. You just had a baby and now you're noticing all this hair loss. You're noticing this shedding, right? So what are some of the causes of hair loss? Just to, help you out, right? Some of the causes of your hair loss are going to be, most simply, let's start with the most simple, is going to be nutrition, right? So if you have a nutritional deficits, if you are you're lacking in certain vitamins and minerals in your diet, you may see an influx of hair shedding, right? Another thing that could cause hair loss is stress. That is one of the biggest things that we see. And so if you may be a professional, you have a client and you're seeing that your client is experiencing a lot of shedding and it's like hair is all over the place, one of the things that you have to ask yourself, if you are that person or if you are a client, is, okay, what are you going through, right? Like, am I stressed out? Now, stress comes in a lot of different ways, okay? So did you know that sleep deprivation is stress? So you might say, girl, I just like to stay up. I'm a night owl. But your body doesn't know the difference between you just up scrolling on Facebook and you're not getting enough sleep. It all is stress to the body. So you want to make sure that you're in a position where you're getting the right amount of rest, because otherwise it's stressing the body out. What are some other causes of hair loss? Well, medication, right? Now, listen, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Nah, I'm just playing. But I'm not a physician, so I'm not going to tell you to stop your medication. But if there's something that you can do nutritionally to help your body systems, then that's what you want to do, so that your doctor can reevaluate you and perhaps take you off of medication. Medications like diabetes medications, high blood pressure, chemo, all those things. A person like me, I cannot tell you to stop that stuff, right? But I do know that there are certain side effects that would help to exacerbate that issue, right? That hair loss issue. And so you want to look at, are there some medications that I just stopped? Because a lot of times your body will react to that. Are there medications that I started and my body has to get acclimated? So that's another thing. Just backing up, when you look at nutrition, have you recently got on a diet? Have you gone on a diet? Have you decided, well, you know what? I'm not going to eat meat for a while. I'm not going to eat certain things, certain types of protein, because your hair is made up of protein. And so if you shock the body by doing any sudden changes in your diet, you also could lose hair, right? Looking at people that say, well, listen, my high school reunion is coming up. I got to look snatched. I got to look good. And so I'm going to stop eating ABC. I'm going to go on this kind of diet. I'm going to be doing this type of fasting. And, you're like, what's wrong with fasting? I can fast. Right. You can, but you just have to expect that you may see something anywhere from 4 to 14 weeks or 6 to 18 weeks, as far as a reaction to you taking protein out of your diet or changing your diet drastically. So you want to make sure that you're looking at those different things, small things that we don't even look at, right? So we said medication, of course. We said nutrition, right? We said stress, right? So there are like so many different causes for hair loss. Another one could be physical manipulation. So you see a lot of people with, they say, oh, child, you ain't got no edges, right? It could be traction alopecia. So are you braiding your hair the wrong way? You see, I got like some braids, right? But I have knotless, right? So little to no tension, but I'm pulling it up. So if I'm doing this over and over again, and I'm doing the same styles over and over again, maybe I'm massaging my scalp the wrong way. Maybe I'm brushing my hair the wrong way. Maybe I am over processing my hair, because traction alopecia is not only that I don't have any edges, right? It's also the absence of the cuticle. So I have over processed my hair where I don't have that protective lining on my hair strand, and that was easy to snap, right? But there are different types of hair loss that look like they mimic each other. So you could actually have traction alopecia because you're pulling that hair up and you're braiding it tight and you're doing certain types of braiding patterns that are not conducive for your hair. But then also it could be hormonal, right? And so if your hormones are out of whack, then you might notice some hair loss. So then you'd have to look into something like that. So when we're looking at causes, there are so many different types of there are so many different reasons why you could be losing your hair. So you want to be in contact with a professional so that you can narrow it down as to why. Why would you do that? Because it's going to save you money. It's going to save you money. Now, how is it going to save you money? Because you're thinking, oh my gosh, girl, I'm losing my hair. So let me sit up on Instagram, scroll, and buy all these supplements. Let me go to GNC. Let me go on Amazon. Let me put together a remedy, and it has nothing to do with it. A lot of the things that we're doing externally are not going to help us because, like I said, about stress or medication or diet, all of those things are internal. And so we have to understand what type of hair loss we have. Maybe you don't have hair loss, meaning from the scalp. Maybe it's just breakage, because breakage is external. Entire strand and you see the little white thing, the bulb, then that would indicate that it's internal, right? But also if you see a bulb because you've been pulling too tight, you pulled the hair out. But then if you see little spiky hairs and it's like very wispy, then that is that's external, right? So that is improper manipulation, brushing the hair the wrong way, combing the hair the wrong way. Also not cleaning out your tools, right? So your brushes are a mess. They're full of hair. The bristles are intertwined. They're looking crazy, right? And then you start to brush your hair and it starts to snag and rip the hair. And if the cuticle is not intact, it makes it easier for the hair to kind of pop off, right? So you're looking at all these different things, causes to hair loss. So what we want to know is it internal or is it external? If it's internal, then there's things I need to look at. I need to look at my stress. I need to look at my sleep, which is connected to stress. I need to look at my diet. I need to look at medication. Did I start a new medication? Did I stop a medication? I have to look at all of those things, right? But then we have to look at, okay, those are internal. Is it external? Am I braiding it too hard? Am I wearing the same hairstyles over and over again? Do I have a variety of different hairstyles? Also, you want to look at the fact that a lot of times I never see a client that only has one type of hair loss. So maybe you have hair loss that runs in your family and you're like, okay, listen, I'm starting to see it start to thin up here. So now I'm going to pull my hair up in a bun. So that may lend to traction alopecia. So you may have androgenetic or what do you call it? You call it female pattern or male pattern hair loss, but because you're starting to brush that hair over and over again to cover the spot, then you're adding traction alopecia to it, right? Then also you're very stressed. And because stress could trigger alopecia areata, you'll start to get these like little bald spots that will show up because that stress is triggering and it's causing the body to fight against itself, which means that it's going to attack the follicle. So now you got 3 types of hair loss, right? And then you pulling that ponytail too tight or that drawstring ponytail too tight and you're brushing everything up. So now you have breakage, right? So you have 4 types of hair loss or scalp and hair maladies. And so it gets worse because you don't know exactly what to do. You're trying everything and now everything is like compiled on each other. So when do you get help? Well, I always say you want to get help at the first sign of hair loss, right? Because you don't know what it is. And time is follicles. Somebody say time is follicles, right? So that means what? The longer you wait, the less hair you have to work with. If you go to a dermatologist, right, and you catch whatever it is early enough, they'll do some things and it's like, okay, it's remedied, it's fine, right? But then sometimes you wait a long time, now you get a biopsy. You never get that follicle back that they're taking out of your hair, out of your scalp, right? So that's one less follicle for you to grow hair with, right? So when do you get help? When you first notice or when you're in the salon. If you are in a salon with a your regular stylist and they're not a hair loss professional, they're not a hair restoration expert or a trichologist, but they say, girl, what's going on? I see that, your hair is shedding or your hair is breaking. This is when you get help. Now, it may be something that the stylist can do inside of the salon, but then it may have to be escalated to a trichologist, or maybe you feel comfortable with a dermatologist. But you have to figure out when you're going to get help, when you start to notice changes. If you know for a fact, for example, I'll have clients that say, I will be going on chemo. Right. So I start helping them before. I start getting them ready before. Now, what does that look like? For me, that looks like, let me look at your diet. Let me look at your blood type. Let me look at something as simple and cosmetic as, let me get a cranial prosthetic as opposed to a regular wig that may be damaging based on the base and how it is constructed. So I want you to have the least amount of tension. I want you to have the right diet. I want you to have the right practices. Maybe you need the right shampoo, conditioner. I've had clients to come in and say, I'm going in for surgery next month. I'll be out of commission. What do I do? Okay, so this is how you're going to shampoo your hair. This is what you're going to do. You can't come out, but these are the things that I want you to be able to use. If your doctor would allow, these are the supplements that I want you to be on. Maybe you need an at-home laser for your hair, depending on what it is. So when you are getting help, especially from a professional, what you're looking at is, what things can I put in place, because you want a preventative care plan. I want to make sure that after I do A, B, and C, whether that is going for surgery, I had chemo, I had a baby, I'm not going to be able to get out. Do I have some things in place? Do I have the right shampoo, conditioner in place? Am I taking the right supplements? Am I doing what I need to do to keep my hair healthy and on my head? So when you say, oh my God, I'm losing my hair, what do I do? Sometimes it's the pattern that causes us to lose our hair. We are taking too much time doing the same things over and over again. Number one, for shame, right? Like, can we be honest, right? You see a little bit of, you're like, oh my God, this stuff is getting, it's getting a little thin. So you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a big chop. I'm going to cut it all off. And you cut it all off and you notice that didn't help, because your hair loss was not external. So it wasn't that it just broke. Your hair, hey, Tiffany, your hair loss wasn't external. So you did this big chop for nothing, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. Shave it all off. I'm going to start over. But then you notice it's not growing back. So then maybe it wasn't traction alopecia. Well, number one, it could be traction alopecia if you kept doing it over and over again, and then you started to cause scarring, because traction alopecia is not supposed to be scarring. It's supposed to be something that kind of like, either self-corrects or with a little bit of help can correct, and the hair grows back, because it's just supposed to be kind of like broken, and the hair strands are damaged and not necessarily the follicles. But if you are consistently putting glue on your hair, putting gel on your hair, over manipulation, lots of edge control, and you're not shampooing and you're not taking care of the follicles around your edges, and there's makeup in there, and there's gel and got to be and all that other stuff, then it could become a problem where you start to develop folliculitis or inflammation in the follicles, and then it becomes a bigger deal, right? So when you how do you know that you need to get help? As soon as you notice that something's different, something funky, listen, I'm about to, go on a diet. I'm in a nutrition plan. What should I do? They said I can't eat this, that, and the other. What things do I need to do? Do I need to come in and see you? How often should I shampoo my hair, right? So what are some home remedies? When I say home remedies, I'm definitely not telling you to boil no rice water. I don't believe in it, because I know that hair grows from the inside out. And if hair grows from the inside out, why are you putting the water on your head? That's like you putting fertilizer on the flower's petals, right? So if hair goes from the inside out, then the things that I need to do are on the inside. The things that I do in the salon as a stylist, or the things that I do in the clinic as a trichologist, is only to complement what you're doing on the inside at home. Okay, so now when I say home remedies, now that we got that out the way, I'm not telling you, tie some tea leaves on your head and all that other stuff. I'm saying, what does your pillowcase look like? Is it cotton or is it satin? If it is cotton and you're complaining about dry hair, then the cotton could be, absorbing the moisture out of your hair, right? Therefore, making it easier to break. Is the heat in your house extremely dry? Because, that's dehydrating. Are you drinking enough water? A home remedy is drinking water. Have your body weight in ounces of water every single day. Why? Because we're made up of water. Water is the universal solvent. The more water I drink, it flushes out if I'm on medications, if I'm eating a little funky. So if I'm drinking enough water, my skin is clear, my waist is snatched, honey, I'm minding my business, and my hair is growing, right? So when we look at home remedies, another home remedy could be, so you're like, oh, I just can't sleep. I'm just up. So get you a humidifier and put some lavender essential oil in it, something that is going to allow you to relax. There's going to be something that's going to promote a stress-free environment, right? So when I say home remedies, I'm talking about eating for your blood type. That's a home remedy because now I'm taking care of what I'm putting in my body. And guess what? Hair is the healthy side effect, which means that if I'm making the right foods for my blood type, if I'm making the right foods because whatever I was dealing with was inflammatory, and so now I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet, then it's going to help me to reduce the inflammation and therefore help me to help my hair grow, right? So why does that even make sense? Because there's something that is really prevalent in the Black community, CCCA, Central Cicatricial Alopecia, which is CCCA. And it's like when you see like the older, and you say young women too, but you might have seen back in the day the older Black women, and they had like, it'd be shiny right here. And Miss Myrtle, like she gonna curl that hair over it, but you can see right through it's real shiny, and it's like the back of my hand real smooth. You might be able to look at her ankles. You might be able to look at her wrist and you see, oh, wow, that's swollen, right? Or she's talking about, things are swollen. So she has inflammation in her body. It also affects the scalp. If you have inflammation in your body, you also could have inflammation in your scalp, right? So if you're on an anti-inflammatory diet, not only does it help your scalp, it helps the whole body. Or not only does it help the whole body, your scalp is going to get that too. Right? So I'm not saying it's going to cure CCCA, but if it's early onset and you're noticing I'm eating a lot of cheese, a lot of chocolate, a lot of sugar, I'm drinking a lot of alcohol, and these are a lot of things that are causing me to have inflammation in the body, I need to get rid of that. And if I get rid of that, it gives me a better chance to be healthy in my body and also in my hair and scalp. Right? So when I say home remedies, what are you eating? Another home remedy, how are you sleeping? Are you getting the right amount of sleep? Right? Also, home remedies, using the right shampoos and conditioners. You should not be shampooing your hair at home all the time with a clarifying shampoo that is stripping your hair and you're not adding moisture back into it. All shampoos are not created equal. Not all conditioners are created equal. It is not meant for you to walk around with dirt in your hair and just throw conditioner on your hair. It is not meant for you to not wash your hair. It is not meant for you to walk around for a month or two and not shampoo your hair. I met a girl in Orlando. I was going to a hair loss conference and she was my Uber driver. And she was like, like, what are you here for? And I'm like, oh, I'm a trichologist and I'm here for this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And she said, girl, I ain't washed my hair in 3 months and it's growing like a weed. And that might be so, but what does that smell? And I ain't trying to, because but not everybody can do that, right? So cleanliness and hair health, scalp care and scalp health are very important to our hair growth, right? And so you want to create a good environment for your hair to grow. And if that's what you want to do, I do not suggest that you skip out on shampooing your hair. Okay, especially if if you sweat and you're working out a lot and different things like that. So you want to make sure that you have a proper environment for hair growth. So when I talk about home remedies, I'm talking about your pillowcase. I'm talking about how much water you're drinking, how you're eating, what are you putting in your diet, what are you taking out of your diet, are there supplements? Please do not go around here just taking prenatal vitamins because you said that, child, my hair sure did grow when I was, pregnant with Man. That's not why your hair grew, because of the prenatal vitamins, right? So the prenatal vitamin is going to help you to sustain life with your baby, but it is not necessarily something that is growing your hair, because when you look at being pregnant, right? I'm gonna help you. When you look at being pregnant, you look at the fact that that anagen phase or that growth phase of your hair cycle is basically frozen in layman's terms, right? So you get the optimal hair growth. You get all of that, your hair is growing and, everything's going on, right? And that's because of the hormones, right? When you have the baby, a lot of women say, oh my God, my baby took my beauty, or my baby took my hair out, or whatever like that, right? It's because now the hormones eventually get back in a cycle, and now it's making up. So it's like, okay, now I got to shed. Now I got to rest. Now I got to grow. Right. So, and a lot of times after having a baby and, doing all of that, you'll experience that postpartum hair loss or telogen effluvium. It will uncover another type of hair loss that you may have not even known about, because now you're seeing this extensive shedding. And so you really have to be careful with that. Okay. So when I say home remedies, I'm talking about making sure that, again, you're drinking the right amount of water, that your supplements are proper. You're not just taking stuff. I do consultations and people are like, well, I'm on biotin. And I say, well, why are you on biotin? And they say, well, they said that it makes your hair grow. Well, who is they? Number one. Number two, biotin does not grow hair. So don't beat the man up at the beauty supply store when he runs out of the shampoo that has the biotin in it, because biotin is like a scaffolding on a building. A scaffolding on a building does not build the building, right? It supports it. So there's nothing wrong with having biotin, but it does not grow hair. So for you to, take a whole bunch of biotin is not what you need. But what you should do is send your blood work into someone like me, where I have the exact panels that you may need, so that I can look at where you're deficient, look at the supplements or the minerals and vitamins that you need for hair growth, and make sure that those levels are right. And those are the things that you could complement however you want, but there are specific things that you may need for your hair to grow. And so that's what you want to do. So when I talk about home remedies, I'm talking about changing that pillowcase, drinking that water, half your body weight in ounces of water, making sure that you have the right diet. If you need an anti-inflammatory diet, doing that, making sure that you're on top of medication, making sure that even when you look at your birth control, women, you're looking at your birth control and you're like, okay, all of a sudden I'm noticing that my hair is falling out. It has a high androgen index, which means that it is hormones, right? So you can get one with a lower hormonal effect on you, and that will help you to maintain your hair as well. So how can a pro help you? Well, all the things I said, right? So a pro can help you to really, and when I say a pro, I mean a trichologist, a healthy hair care stylist, someone that is trichologically sound. They're going to be able to give you answers. Okay, they're going to give you a proper consultation. They're going to go through your blood work if they're properly trained in that area. They're going to look at your stressors. They're going to look at what you eat. They're going to look at how you sleep. They're going to look at what you're putting on your hair. They're going to assess your lifestyle and give you a plan that is going to help you to have a better quality of life, which in turn is going to help you to get the healthy side effect of healthy hair and scalp. Okay. So if you are somebody that's like, listen, child, I am losing my hair. I don't know what to do. I'm not only losing my hair, it's shedding, it's breaking. If you've not thought about all those different things that I have mentioned, drinking water, changing your diet, have you changed your diet suddenly? Are you on medication? Did you just jump off of a medication? Are you staying up all night? Are you stressed? Different things like that. Then you really want to see a professional. And so I am available. Also, if you are a stylist and you're like, listen, I got all these clients, they love me, I don't know what's going on, I am available for seminars in your salon for your clients or for your fellow stylists. That is definitely a thing. I also do seminars for women's groups, women's ministries, all that other stuff on Zoom, in person, all that. So by all means, please reach out to me. I definitely want to help you. If hair loss is an issue for you, it could be something that, listen, you pay for the consultation, you see everything that you got, and you may say, you know what, I am going to be wearing wigs, but you wear wigs because you want to and not because you have to, but you want to find out if you have to or what that thing is going to be, right? So you may find out that, listen, my hair is not going to grow as fast as I need it to, but I want to know what's going on. I want to know why it's going on. If that's you, definitely link in my bio on Instagram. I want you to get a consultation so we can get to the bottom of your hair loss. I hope I helped you. Thank you so much for chilling with me for 30 whole minutes. Have a great day today and happy hair growing.